Hello and welcome to Not Gambling Advice, the baseball betting stream on the Just Baseball Network. It is Tuesday, August 15th, and my job is to deliver you some more MLB winners. First up, producer Cohen, flash that leaderboard. Mid-major Matt, ladies and gentlemen. He's coming on today. This has been just a historic rise. Remember, he was down about 14 units like a month ago, pre-All-Star break, and has catapulted himself into the number one spot, tracked on the Pikkit Sports App. Producer Cohen's going to drop the link in chat for you all to download. Remember, we are brought to you by Pikkit. Remember, we can't give you all the free content unless you support our sponsors. All I ask, download it, sync your sportsbook using code Peter so you get entered into the raffle. We got a big stream ahead. Now, there's only about 6 people on it. When I say only, that's still a decent amount of cappers, right? But we actually have 25 different picks. Tons of picks today. Loaded Tuesday MLB slate. I'm going to give you I got 4 picks of my own, ladies and gentlemen. I love the board. Now, 2 of them in the same game. It's going to be in 3 different games. We're going to talk about all those. I already have my home run pick in mind, and I haven't even looked at the Ballpark Pal home run zone yet. We're going to do it all here, and we got some horses coming on. Remember yesterday, everyone who came on was in the green. Now, Arm and Colby, they are coming on, and they are definitely in the red. They are definitely in the red. So maybe you fade them, but maybe they might be getting hot. Because remember, Mid-Major Matt was in the red not so long ago. Look at him now. I'm telling you, everyone in this competition is good at what they do. They're going to get on a heater soon. It's just about capturing it in the right moment. But we also have DeGen coming on, who's trying to get in first place. We have Gino coming on, right? Who else we got coming on that's in the winner's circle, producer Cohen? Who else is in the winner's circle, right? We got DeGen, we got Colby, Mid-Major, our leader, Gino, Aram, and then Ben is making his return, who's also still in the green, and it's his birthday. Happy birthday, Ben. Let's get it popping. But before we get into my picks, let's do a quick recap of yesterday. Come on. Why not us? Why not us, producer Cohen? Royals first side. Bang. Brady Singer, no hitter through 5 innings. Salvi, 3-run bomb. Let's watch. Let's watch this. Let's watch how the Royals did their thing. So first off, we're just automatically rolling. Salvador Perez, first inning. When you have a first 5 bet and you get a 3-run bomb in the first inning, oh, man, that feels good. But Brady Singer, right? Like, winning a bet is great, but let's learn something here. Like, this guy, since the All-Star break, has been one of the better pitchers in the American League. I know that sounds crazy, but sometimes, guys, these earned run props are speaking to us. And then this was in the bottom of the 5th inning, which we already cashed. But how about Bobby Witt Jr.? Did you guys know this was the fastest from home to home time since 2017? And he even stutter stepped going to first base because he thought it was a single. Great bet. Thankfully, we didn't take the Royals to the full game, even though they did win. But I don't know if you guys saw that. The Royals bullpen, they definitely did Royals bullpen type shit. All right? We're back again today. And of course, we got to recap the loser. Soto. Tyler Glasnow hit his walks, which is great, but Soto, the bump spoke. Bumped down to 7. I was in piss. So Tyler Glasnow, we went 1-1 on this, but unfortunately that's a loss. So for the day, up 0.95 units. We will take it. We will take it. Is Krabs in the green yet? Producer Cohen, can you flash the leaderboard? We got a retired sign. He retired. He retired, unfortunately. Classic Ben video. No, I wish we had a Ben video, but I mean, let's be real here. It's good to see him just come back on. It's good to see his face. He's going to pitch the play himself. But you guys in chat, let him know when he does come on how much you love the video, because I'm sure he'll enjoy it, and it is his birthday. All right, let's get straight into it, producer Colin. Why don't we start in Cincinnati? Let's start in Cincinnati. All right, at 6:40 p.m. Eastern, the pitching matchup is Logan Allen against Graham Ashcraft. Graham Ashcraft, right? Who is he? Right? And when I say that, here's what I mean. What version are we going to get of him today? He's either the worst pitcher on the planet or a legit ace. He goes on stretches of pure dominance, but his ERA is still in the high fours because his bad starts this year are 2023 Wainwright-esque, right? But I'm going to bet on one of those great starts today. So who's out for the Guardians, which I think is important because they don't have that many great hitters. Josh Naylor has been one of the best hitters in baseball this season, hitting 306. But with him on the IL, it does leave a lot to be desired. Now, Jose Ramirez is due back from his suspension, which is not ideal. But again, this is not a lock. This is gambling. Jose Ramirez is a very good player, and he's going to be on the Guardians. We'll see what happens, right? But no doubt about it, this Guardians lineup without Naylor, it's a good matchup for Ashcraft because Naylor is a bad matchup for Ashcraft, right? Power guys, walk a lot. That's not a good matchup. But what is? And why is Graham Ashcraft good in some circumstances? Because he's very matchup dependent. He's very successful against teams who don't strike out and want to put the ball in play, right? Those type of teams for high strikeout guys could actually lead to disaster, right? Remember when we bet on the Guardians against Dylan Cease? High strikeout guy. Doesn't want you to put the ball in play. Gives up a lot of hard contact. A lot of it is in the air. That's a good matchup for the Guardians. This, not so much. So what's another good example of a good matchup for him? Remember when we took Graham Ashcraft against Patrick Corbin? Remember, the Nationals ended up coming back and winning that game. But Ashcraft shoved. It wasn't his fault, right? What did the Nationals do? Don't strike out a lot. Put the ball in play. Put the ball on the ground, right? That's where he is at his best. And this matchup has proved to be spots where he's very successful in. Now, Ashcraft is not a data darling, right? More often than not, I'm going to come to you and say, well, this guy's expected ERA is this, peripheral is this, due for regression, due for positive regression, all that kind of stuff. It's not going to be that for Ashcraft, right? Walk rate above average, strikeout rate far below average. xERA is in the 5, right? It's about 5. He's going to be a pitcher, though, long-term, I think, who outperforms those peripherals due to an above-average ground ball rate, above-average hard hit rate, right? And he's also good against non-disciplined teams, shoving against Padres, Phillies, Pirates. Guardians are kind of a combination of the two. They don't really take free passes and they don't strike out. Now, discipline is not just about walking, right? You know it when you see it when a team doesn't give good ABs. And he also excels when teams don't hit the ball hard. So we covered him. On the flip side, we have Logan Allen. I think Allen is a fine pitcher, right? The numbers actually say he's below average, but I personally think he's fine. 4.47 expected ERA is definitely higher than his 3.55, implies that regression is coming. Now, he's below average in every critical metric, and he's still a rookie who's like 91 innings. Late in the season, I think this is a spot where these rookie pitchers who have pitched a lot this season, they start to fade a little bit. Now, the Guardians, they did send him to the minors to relieve him, and since then, 3 good starts, 2 bad ones, right? He's just not on the same level as Graham Ashcraft, who's on a heater right now, which is important. While the Reds' offense hasn't been explosive against lefties, they can platoon 7 right-handed bats against Allen. That's important because Allen really hasn't figured out how to get out righties, sitting with a 759 OPS versus right-handed hitters. The props are pretty telling. Ashcraft is plus 140 to get a win, minus 180 to go over 17.5 pitching outs, which implies that he's well going to be on 6 innings, and minus 140 to go under 2.5 earned runs. So what they are telling us, based on the odds, is they think Graham Ashcraft will go over 6 innings and allow under 3 earned runs. Allen is plus 240 to get a win, minus 130 to go under 15.5 pitching outs, so they think he won't last past the 5th, and minus 135 to go over 2.5 earned runs. You could argue Ashcraft's been pitching too well and deserves those lines, and I would agree, right? However, Allen has tossed 2 straight starts totaling 11 innings and only allowing 3 earned runs. I priced the Reds' first 5 at minus 140. I think there's a ton of value in this spot. I think this most significant edge, though, is the first 5 because the Guardians have the bullpen advantage, right? We took the Royals through the first 5. They ended up winning, but they blew it in the end. The Reds have a fine bullpen. They don't have the Guardians bullpen. I like the Reds money line. I think they win. But the biggest edge, and the reason why I think they win, is I think they win through the first 5. Lucky for us, if they tie, it's a push. Give me the Reds first 5 money line, minus 115. I would take it all the way up to minus 125. All right. you want to go to San Francisco or you want to go to Toronto? Let's go to Toronto. Why not us? It's the game at 7:07 p.m. Eastern between Zach Wheeler and Yusei Kikuchi. Today's lowest total on the board is a great pitching matchup between Wheeler with extended rest and Kikuchi pitching in his favorite spot. Now, both teams had an off day yesterday, so we get very good bullpens following these two. I expect this to be a pitcher's duel that isn't fun for folks who enjoy runs. Now, Zach Wheeler with rest, I think, might be the best pitcher on the planet. When he's got his fastball, this guy is humming. Even without rest, he's great, right? But the extra tick up in velocity makes him a true ace in this league. And he prefers pitching on the road and is a wizard against right-handed bats. Why does that matter? What do the Blue Jays have, right? They can't help themselves by putting out a primarily right-handed lineup. They just don't have enough solid left-handed bats, right? Brandon Belt, Dalton Varsho, Kevin Biggio. This same Blue Jays lineup has also a 92 WRC plus against righties in the last 30 days and an 83 WRC plus in the last 14 days. So they're getting worse. They're getting worse and worse and worse. Now, let's talk Wheeler's props, right? Majorly juiced towards the over 17.5 pitching outs at minus 185. And now he had a 1.5 earned run line. It was juiced towards the over, obviously, like every 1.5 earned run line is. Now it's at 2.5, minus 175 towards the under. His strikeout line's at 6.5, juice towards the over. Hits prop is at 4.5. I think he's going to shove. Yusei Kikuchi's on the other side. And not just his props tell me he's going to shove. The matchup, right? Extended rest, right-handed lineup, on the road, recipe for him to dominate, right? And Yusei Kikuchi's on the other side, who's also seen his velocity tick up and is pitching lights-out baseball. He's eventually due for regression, right, based on his mid-fours expected ERA, but right now he's dominating, and I expect it to continue against this Phillies team. Now, this Phillies offense has a relative steep drop-off on the road, right? Their OPS this season is 30 points lower on the road. In the last 30 days against lefties on the road, 99 WRC plus, right? About a league average offense. It's a league average offense. It's just not something I'm that afraid of, right? And the odds makers, they don't seem to be afraid either. Juicing his 2.5 earned run prop towards the under at minus 155, pitching out sitting at 17.5. Even a quality start, right? We got room to grow, and I'll tell you why later. 5 innings, 3 earned. Let's say he goes over that, hits his earned run prop at plus 120. Sure, right? As long as we get Wheeler 1 run through 5 innings, which he's supposed to go 7 innings, 2 earned runs based on the props, that's fine. 6 innings, 3 earned run, that's fine. And if he does any more, this is going to soar under. The Blue Jays bullpen ranks number 3 in Major League Baseball in Sierra, skill interactive ERA, and their closer, Jordan Romano, is set to return today. Now, Romano gets memed a lot because of his blow-ups and road starts, right? In the United States of America, he weirdly doesn't perform that well. In Toronto, fantastic closer, right? And why am I bringing up the Blue Jays bullpen? Not only is it elite, rested, right? Rest day yesterday. The Phillies bullpen is also rested and ready to roll. Now, they're in a near elite group. They rank 7th in Sierra this season. Granted, not sure how much they're going to need from their bullpen, considering I think Wheeler's going to give them 6 to 7 strong, but they have everybody available. So they'll be good, right? We have 2 rested bullpens, 2 very good starters, and 2 offenses that rank either average or below average in these spots. We do have some slight wind coming in, and it's always good to look at an under with 2 high strikeout pitchers. Now, this is a system from Action Network just called high strikeout pitchers, where the under is 294, 211, and 32, netting bettors 62 units with a 12% ROI. If you combine that system with 2 pitchers I really believe in, right, you get an under. I priced this at a generous 7.5, like a 7.5 where it's minus 115, minus 120 towards the under. And I wouldn't have been surprised to see 7, but now the odds makers can't put out 7 because everybody hammers the over, and it's really hard to stay under 7. But I'm happy to take under 8, right? So the pick is under 8 at minus 115. Producer Cohen, what is it on BetMGM right now? I'm just curious. Under 7.5 at minus 105. Lower the unit size. 8's key. I love this under. It's good that it moved in our direction, right? If you haven't bet it yet, I think it's a great under. I think it lands on 7. But 7.5 to 8, that's key, right? That's key. We'll just lower the unit size. If you like it, I'm on 8, right? And if it lands on 8 and you lose and I push, I don't know what to say. But at the same time, like, I love this under. Love this under, right? So up to you. If I saw 7.5, I think it should be minus 115, minus 120. Not much value there, but it's up to you. Half you because of lost CLV. Don't hate that one bit. Don't hate that one bit. All right? Final play of the day. Should we talk about the Giants versus the Rays? You guys are going to hate this play. You know what? Don't put it up yet. If you watched the stream yesterday, Gino made a very good pitch for Giants plus 115. We remember it yesterday, right? Giants, best team at home as a dog. Full bullpen ready to go. And they lost 10-2, right? Just because a bet loses doesn't mean it's the right spot, right? Public was all over Tampa Bay, and they won. Good for them, right? But it's not always that easy, right? Tough to hit in bullpen games. And unfortunately, the right bet, I thought it was the right side. He just didn't hit. Now, how did that logic change today? We have a pitcher who's far worse than Glass now, so we have a better bet here. And the Giants, the problem is why they gave up 10 runs, right? They didn't use any of their top bullpen arms. They got crushed early and then just mailed it in, right? Why would you use any of those top bullpen arms? Gino's cap was they're going to use it if it's close. It just ended up being a Rays blowout, so they didn't end up using them, right? I think this is a spot where the Giants get right. Give me the first 5 in the full game money line. I'm going to tell you why, and I split it up into 2 halves. Okay. It's a good spot to fade the Rays after a 10-run performance, just bottom line, especially when they are on the road. If you exclude April and May because they were the best team in baseball, they were scoring 50 runs a game and it didn't even matter. They've won by 8+ 3 times since then. Do you know how many games they've won after? 0-3. It's obviously not why you just take a bet blindly, right? 0-3 after winning by 8+, take it. No. Let me explain. Right? But it does show, right? These are just things that we add on to make bets, right? For example, love the under, right? Love Wheeler, extended rest, Kikuchi broke down the offense, then a system fit it, we play it, right? This is like a moderate system just to keep track of that the Rays have not responded after these type of wins, and then we'll talk about it, right? Because the Giants are 34-18 this season as underdogs, 34-27 at home. As a home underdog this year, the Giants are 15-6, the best of any team in Major League Baseball. And now, if you don't want to play the under, you know who's the second best team as a home dog? The Blue Jays. Zach Littell. I could break into so many reasons why I don't like Zach Littell, and I've done it before. I just don't want to regurgitate the same information over and over again. Real quick. Average exit velocity, how hard the ball is coming off the bat on average. He is in the 2nd percentile. What about hard hit rate? 2nd percentile. Expected ERA, 24th percentile. He's a bottom quarter of the league pitcher. Expected batting average, 3rd percentile. Expected slug, 15th percentile. Barrel rate, 22nd percentile. K rate, 28th percentile. You get the picture. I'm not a big fan of his, right? The Rays bullpen behind him has also been extremely lackluster. Now rested, but they ranked 22nd in Sierra, my favorite bullpen stat. It's rested, but it ain't the Giants bullpen. Now the Giants are most likely going to go with Sean Manaea or Alex Wood, right? Remember what Javon talked about yesterday? Remember what Gino talked about yesterday? We just didn't get any of them because the Rays scored a bunch of runs. Today, we'll probably get them unless the Rays score a bunch of runs again. Then we lost the bet anyway, right? But that's who we're going to get out after Jacob Junis. And the Rays haven't hit a left-hander in a month, right? They have a 75 WRC plus against lefties. And after those two guys, they're going to have a complete disposal. Both Rogers brothers, who are both rocking ERAs under 2.5, and then Camilo Duvall, their closer. This Giants bullpen is elite. They sit in fifth in baseball in Sierra among all bullpens, right? And now this play is interesting, right? I talked about the value of Blue Jays Phillies on the under, talked about the Reds value. This is not a value play. This is more of just a spot that I really do like. I don't like Zach Littell. That's why I'm taking the Giants through the first 5. But I think they end up winning the game because they have the clear bullpen advantage, right? Rays coming off that 10-2 win. They flip to being a favorite. Like, who on earth is taking the Giants as a favorite after the Rays beat them 10-2 and you see Jacob Junis on the mound? Nobody except us. Give me the Giants through both halves. This is Jacob Junis, right? He's not that good. He's okay. Just don't get bombed. And I don't think he'll get bombed today, right? I think the Rays bats are slow. That's a pitcher. Now, he's probably not going to go more than 2-3 innings. So I'm not super worried about him. But I think the Giants do hit Zach Littell. I know they've been bad against righties, but I think this is a good get-right spot for him. All right? Let's talk home runs. Where do you get your bullpen Sierra stats? Perfect. So you go to Fangraphs, right? And then you go to pitchers, right? You'll see leaderboards. You go to pitchers. You go to team stats. Then you go to advanced. Click on bullpens, and you'll see the column Sierra, okay? Pete, you could tell me to jump off a bridge and I'd do it. Be careful, right? Don't put more than what I'm putting on, right? If you want to tail the play, right? Just because the pitch sounds good, right? With all due respect, I can give a good pitch. I'm a salesman. I worked with the Yankees for 2 years in sales, worked for a tech company in sales. I'm a salesman. And sometimes I can get people into ruts because then they put up like 700 units on something. Don't do that. Remember, this is the unit structure. Let's stick to it and let's have a day. All right. Peter, I got White Sox money line tonight. Brandon, you're going to be laying in piss. Royals plus 115 with Lyles. That's the play. I know it is. And I'm too scared to take it. Let's talk home runs before we welcome on Arm Layton. Okay, refresh. What just happened? Judge flies up. Seager, Adolis, Muncy drops. So I had an idea for a Reds guy. And now McLean sitting there is fascinating because I really like Christian Encarnacion Strand. I really like Spencer Steer. And I really like Matt McLean. And I was going to do tie to the winner of who's the highest on this thing. Matt McLean is my home run pick, ladies and gentlemen. Matt McLean, I do like Kansas City. I do. And I'm too scared to take it. Freaking Jordan Lyles loses every freaking day, no matter what. What do you think about Rockies' massive over in ballpark palette, 30% home run outcome? Yeah, I mean, I've been getting burned. I mean, I like the under yesterday and it smacked. I don't mind it. I don't. I just didn't pay much attention to that game because I think it's going to suck. What about Henry Ramos plus 1.5 bases? I mean, maybe. Give me Matt McLean. If you can put the camera on me. Matt McLean is going to hit a home run today off Logan Allen to left field. Not gambling advice. He's doing it. All right. All right. I think it's time for Aram Layton.
What's up?
Let me give you a motivational story. Mid-major Matt is down in the Cali Wager, Aram Layton, Colby, land. Down some units in the red. He's in first now. He went from down 13 units to up 10 and change. Anything is possible, Aram Layton. Let's get it started today. First pick. What do we got?
Oh, dude. Big Whale Balls is already in here, bro.
Big Whale Balls. Let me know what to fade.
Send the fucking slip, bro.
Send the slip, Big Whale Balls. Where are we?
Fade it.
Oh, I did it on Twitter. No, you didn't.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
So funny. I like the Royals too. And then I ended up bailing just because I was staring Jordan Lyles in the face, like literally his headshot. I'm just looking
it's
at
hard
him.
to stare that man in the face.
I'm
it's
like,
hard,
I can't.
yeah.
I can't fucking do it. I can't do it. But Big Whale Balls, you should tail Jordan Lyles. I All right, we got 3 plays, 2 first fives, and an over.
Let's
We'll
start with that over in Kansas City.
Oh, yeah, we might as well. So this was the pivot play for me because part of the reason why I liked it is Emerson Hancock had a good first outing. And I think that has kind of been baked into this over under because Jordan Lyles is giving up 4. You just know that's happening. And
just real quick. So Brady Singer yesterday was juiced towards the under on his earn run prop, and Logan Gilbert was juiced towards the under. And I was like, all right, that's a good sharp play, and it ended up hitting. But today I was like, please, Jordan Lyles, like have some weird lines. Minus 160 to go over 2.5 runs. And I'm like, oh
no. Okay, that makes me feel even better too. So, again, I try to think about like what the books have on some of these pitchers. And Emerson Hancock's a guy that all they have to work with really is that that big league start. He's never pitched in AAA. He was in the Texas League in AA. He's a guy that's around the strike zone. When he's pinpoint, he's all right, but susceptible to the long ball, doesn't get a ton of strikeouts. And, the fastball has got to be perfect east-west. He's got to be spotting it. I like what I'm seeing from these Royals bats right now. And I think a guy if you're a hot offensive team, a guy that's around the zone is exactly what you want. When you're a cold offensive team and you got a guy that's kind of just getting you to roll over, getting weak contact, then, it can be rough. On the flip side, I think it could be beneficial. He's not a guy that's going to rack up the strikeouts. He's susceptible to the long ball. I think Seattle can get to him. And on the other side, I think Kansas City can get to him. And then on the other side, he got Seattle where I think they're going to be playing catch up. You're facing Jordan Lyles. All right, we're down 3. No problem. We'll put up 4 or 5. I just think this goes over pretty quickly. And then, I don't like the Royals bullpen at all at this point of the year. So I just think over 9.5 is a pretty easy play.
It's so funny too. Who's got a really sketchy square today and in a good way for you? Julio Rodriguez is at 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. So he's hitting a home run. It's a matter of when.
I would love that.
Yeah,
I would love that. This is the exact spot for him to do it.
Big whale balls just locked in the under, by the way.
I'm sure he did. Yeah,
I'm sure he did. Yeah,
show us the slip. Everything.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Show us the slip. Allegedly. Yeah. Let's get into play number 2.
For sure. In the comments. Play number 2. I'm going to bet on a shitty team. Sorry, Will. We're going Mets first 5, minus 0.5. So minus a half run here, 1 unit. There's a few moving parts to this. One, David Peterson's kind of throwing the ball all right. The Pirates are terrible.
They're terrible.
Against they're bad in general. They're bad against lefties. And Bailey Falter stinks. So
I almost hold on one second. I almost bet on the Pirates today, and then I was like looking at their projected lineup against lefties, and I'm like, who's going to score? Who's going to hit?
The thing. And Peterson, they've been, instead of trying to stretch him out, he's been going more 2-3 inning spurts, and he's been really good in those spurts, or at least much better. Or good is a relative word here. And he's been able to kind of hold it down for them. I think whoever piggybacks can keep this Pirates offense in check for a couple innings. Falter, look, he's not very good. They had him in triple. He wasn't very good there. He's been very susceptible to the long ball. I think this is a spot here where, look, the Mets aren't good. They can still swing it a little bit. A lot of their bats have been kind of coming to life a little bit. Lindor, Pete Alonso, those guys are still going to hit. And this is a spot for them to hit. I don't know if they win the whole game, but I definitely like them first 5 here. And this is more of a fade of Falter and a fade of the Pirates, who just can't hit lefties and have not hit lefties well over the last 30 days at all. They've been towards the bottom, I think, 5 or 6 teams in the league in WRC plus over the last 30.
Fair enough. No, I like I said, I was thinking about betting on the Pirates, and I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. Let's talk
another one.
Your third play.
When Bailey Ober's on the mound, I'm on this motherfucking stream, bro. We got Bailey Ober throwing today, and I'm going to back him through the first 5. We just talked about him on the Just Baseball show as an underrated pitcher. I think he is very much an underrated pitcher. But beyond that, I think this is more of a fade of Alex Faedo, who he's been bouncing around over his last few starts. So he was just over the last 5 starts. July 7th, pitched in the big leagues, gave up 7 earned runs. Then gets sent to AAA Toledo, where, He gives you 5 solid innings against the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. Good stuff. Comes back up, 6 good innings against the Padres. Then back to Erie Double-A, where he gives up a couple runs and a home run. Then back up to the big leagues, where he just faced the Twins 6 days ago and gave up a pair of home runs. He's very susceptible to the long ball. He's been bouncing around like a freaking rag doll. And if there's one way the Twins can beat you, it's with the long ball. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do here. They're going to run into a couple home runs. And I think that's going to be, all they really need to get the first 5 advantage, because Bailey, I know he wasn't as great as last outing, but Bailey walking quality start Ober is going to hold it down for me. And I just think this is an easy one where Faedo's been all over the place. They just saw him. There's a team that lives and dies by the long ball. Beat him twice with 2 long balls last time they faced him. I think they're going to do the same thing again. And I always feel safe with Ober. I always feel safe. So I like this one in the first 5.
Good shit, my friend. 3 plays, 3 winners. We got Kansas City versus Seattle over. We got the Mets through the first 5. And we have the Minnesota Twins riding the Bailey Ober train. Ladies and gentlemen, go check out the top 100 prospects live on justbaseball.com. Absolute no-brainer. Got to go check it out if you're into the prospect space. Aram, appreciate the time. And you got a Twitter space going on at 5:30.
Yes, sir. Prospects. Any prospect freaks, come out and hang out. All right.
Yeah, man. We'll talk to you soon, all right?
Peace.
Next up is Colby Olson, who's been taking his sweet time, going on vacation, bachelor party, shaving his face, doing everything except providing winners. We need it today. We need it today.
You know what we're going to do to start it off? Like you had to know what would happen when I came back on the show after a week hiatus.
Red Sox.
And it's been a while. It has been a while.
Credit to you. It has been a while. Your bias has not come through every time on stream, but it is the Red Sox today. Why is it the Red Sox?
Henry, if you're watching, please go find my record on Boston Red Sox plays this year, because I can guarantee that I'm plus money. And then he's going to come and be like, you're minus 3.4 units. I'm going to fucking kill myself.
Tell us why Nick Pivetta is going to outduel Josiah Gray today.
Do I really need to? But I can.
You have to, because Josiah Gray was an all-star.
Oh, God, that's insane. Okay, since July 1st, Nick Pivetta ranks 14th in ERA, Pete, a 2.65 ERA. And why July 1st is actually somewhat meaningful is that's when Nick Pivetta started to get extended again. He was in the bullpen for a little over a month, and then on July 1st threw 3 1/3 innings, and then since then has just been on an absolute tear. 2.65 ERA. Where do you think he ranks in Sierra, Pete?
Probably really high, because it seems like it's 12 Ks, 0 walks every single time he goes out there.
First overall in Sierra since July 1st, like right above Spencer Strider. And I was shocked. His FIP is not amazing. It's like a 3.78, but man, Sierra at 2.5 is just.
And Sierra's better than FIP in my opinion.
Agreed. So Nick Pivetta has been on a tear, and I trust him that he can mow down this Washington Nationals lineup that, they're fine. They're not good. They're fine. They're not hitting Nick Pivetta today. But Josiah Gray has really struggled. And I love Josiah Gray. I think he's such a good dude. He has an arsenal where you would imagine that he could be a really great pitcher. He has 5 pitches. The problem is he gives up so many home runs, Pete. 4 home runs off the fastball, 6 home runs off the slider, and 5 against the cutter. He really doesn't have an out pitch. You go to his Baseball Savant page, and there's not one pitch on there where he's holding batters to a 165 batting average against any of his pitches. Like, his best pitch is that curveball that has a 33% whiff rate, but hitters are still hitting 267 against that pitch, right? So it's very hard to get batters out when you don't have one pitch you can really dominate with. And this Red Sox lineup does not have Yoshida in it, but I don't think that's really a big deal. He's been struggling. I think he just needs some days off. But Trevor Story back in this lineup is huge. Like, you stick him into the cleanup spot, all of a sudden Jarren Duran's hitting 7th. It's a pretty deep lineup right now for the Sox. And they're starting to get going again. So I think that Josiah Gray is kind of the perfect arm for the Red Sox to get going, because he's not going to blow anything by you. They can put a ton of balls in play and hopefully hit some long balls.
Do you see the ticker down below? I think I've hit every single Red Sox bet I've taken. We got 2, 3, and 1.
That's so
Well,
funny.
Colby,
Down
you've
by
honestly
one.
you've taken a ton of unders for the Boston.
Oh, really?
Like, and I don't know how many of it hit. Like, a lot of unders for sure.
I think the unders have been doing well, man.
It's got to be an under then. Or is it maybe an over day?
It could be. It's Red Sox first 5 -1/2 against Josiah Grade. But that's only one of my plays. I have 3 of them. If you didn't like that one, we can move on.
Let's move on. It's not that I don't like it. I like it. The Red Sox have the starting pitching advantage. Nationals are fine at home, not great. They're the better team. We'll see what happens.
The Red Sox need to sweep the Nationals because they after they play the Nationals, the end of their season is 40 games against the Houston Astros, the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Texas Rangers, like every good team in baseball. Well, the Yankees fucking suck, but you get the gist.
Yeah, thank you. Seattle, Kansas City, first 5 over.
Yes. So literally what Aram just came on and talked about. I don't really need to recycle too much of what he said, but I did go and watched back. What I like doing for guys starts sometimes is just going to the Baseball Savant like game logs and just going like, how did guys put the ball in play against them? So that's what I did this morning for Hancock. And he was dotting. He was really dotting in his first start out against the Padres. But like Aram said, he really does have to dot that fastball to get outs. And the slider, Pete, has a ton of vertical drop on it, only 2 inches of horizontal movement. Like it almost acts like another changeup. It's a weird pitch. I don't think he's going to be able to.
It doesn't give him that it doesn't give him like a really good different look. Like it's just kind of like you throw that pitch and then the changeup is just like a couple miles an hour off, and like that's not. You need to develop that a little bit more.
Yeah, I think he's going to struggle to get whiffs with really any of his pitches, especially that slider. And the Royals have been hot as any team against right-handed pitching. So I think it's actually a really good spot for the Royals to jump on Hancock here in his second start, especially after he cruised through that first start. It's like, well, the batted ball luck might not be the same tonight against Kansas City. And then Jordan Lyles is Jordan Lyles. And I don't really have to sell you on why the Mariners can put the ball in play against him. And I think that this number should have been more like 5.5. I wish I had got it at 4.5, but I was a little late, crept up to 5. But I still think it's more than playable at 5. I think it ends at 6.
For sure. Because the worst thing that happened is it does land on 5. You end up with a push and you watch some baseball. You did watch some baseball. I think it probably soars, though. It could soar. Let's talk play number 3. Yeah, this one is very interesting. This fits a lot of my models, my internal models, not my actual models, but internal models is always my brain model, the Colby Olson brain model. My brain model is guys coming off the IL. I've faded them for years in fantasy baseball, and this fits that mold with Michael Wacha coming off the IL. He has not pitched since July 1st. But then also, Pete, have you seen Michael Wacha's numbers against the Orioles lifetime? He gets destroyed. 120 plate appearances against Wacha, the Orioles lineup as a whole. And this isn't always indicative because, some guys have like 2 plate appearances and you can't really put much weight on it. 401 xWOBA in 120 plate appearances. Anthony Santander, Cedric Mullins, and Ryan Mountcastle each have 2 home runs against Michael Wacha for their career. And that's not over 30 plate appearances. That's like in 12 plate appearances. So he has been lit up by this Orioles lineup. The Orioles lineup has been hot and cold over the last 6 weeks. But with Wacha coming off the IL, this should be an opportunity for the Orioles to jump all over Michael Wacha. So you're probably like, well, Cole, why aren't you taking the Orioles tonight? They have Jack Flaherty on the mound, his velo's crept up, and he's amazing again. He's an ace. I don't think so. I'm still not a total believer in Jack Flaherty. I think he's an improved arm, but the velo did creep down in his last start, Pete. It was near 95 in that first start with the Orioles. Last start crept back down to mid 93s. And I think that's probably what we'll get tonight, if not a little bit lower. And there's always, I always fear Jack Flaherty because he can have those 3 to 4 walk outbursts. So I think he's the better arm in this matchup, but I still think that he gives up plenty of runs. This Padres bullpen has been a disaster. And this Orioles bullpen has gotten a lot of work over the last 4 or 5 days. Tons of work.
I would not be surprised if they get off to an early lead and just get somebody in there to do some cleanup duty.
Not so. Why not Orioles first 5? Just curious.
Because I just don't trust Flaherty. I still think he can give up some runs in this one. Yeah.
More than fair. 3 plays, 3 winners, Cole.
We'll see.
We'll see. No, keep it going. Appreciate you coming on. Good to see you back. Expecting you to give out more picks soon, and we just got to get up.
You know what? Maybe I just need to get one through the basket here, and then we'll go the mid-major route and just start throwing 2-unit bombs out there. I think that might be my only way back.
Just get after it. Just try your best to get after it. All right. We only got like 45-ish games left. Let's get you in the green. Let's get you in the green. All right. We'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you later, Bob.
Peace. We're a little bit early, correct? We're 9 minutes early. We're just asking Ben, scanning this Reds game more and more. PD looks good. Let's go, Skitchen. Let's go, my guy. Yeah, why don't we just go through the ballpark pound model? Let's just go through the ballpark pound model and look at some games. So this Guardians-Reds game, because as you guys know, like I'll use it, right? But at the same time, sometimes I disagree with the model. And this is a good reason why. So Ashcraft, the model has hated him all season long. And it hasn't been right? It's been right in some instances, but it continually hates him. So the fact that it doesn't hate him kind of gives me a good feeling about this Reds game. All right, so we got Astros versus Marlins, another game where the model showed value on the Marlins yesterday. Had them around the same price. Marlins won. Thank you for that under yesterday in Coors Pete. Absolutely. I like the Marlins, I guess. Was that not the most unlucky Astros game ever? I mean, yeah, but they lost 5-1. Like, it wasn't as unlucky as 7-2 A's going into the bottom of the 9th. Nationals put up a 6-run performance, and the way they got those runs was on an error by the shortstop to score 2. That's unlucky. I'm not trying to one-up you. I'm just saying I've been through the ringer this year, and unlucky is a term that I know good and well. Red Sox versus Josiah Gray. Is it the over today in Coors? I'm telling you guys, we're going to have some people coming on that will be pitching stuff in that game. So if you want plays in that game, stay tuned. All right, so here's Red Sox Nationals. I think the price is about what it should be. A little bit of value on the under, which I found kind of interesting. But basically, they like the under because they think Nick Pivetta is going to dominate them. Pete, if you notice, anytime Arias faces a solid lefty, puts up 2+ hits almost always. Well, yeah, I mean, he's hitting 370. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that. But here's, like I said, Red Sox versus Nats. Not a ton I was looking at in this game. I mean, the model does love the Red Sox just to kind of bury the Nationals here, and the Nationals not to put up much. Red Sox score a bunch. So Colby should be on the right track here. At least that's what the model says. So kind of up to you guys. But what I will say is the model does back what Colby was saying about his Red Sox. Philly, Toronto. Model likes the under, which is great. I don't really care. To be perfectly honest with you, I was probably going to play this under regardless of what the model said. But it is nice to see that the model, right? So the model thinks it should be at 7.5, -104 towards the over. So funny enough, the model and I had the same exact cap, right? They think it should be -104 towards the over. I thought it should be -105. So it's the same exact line. And it's good to see the total drop to 7.5, going from 8 to 7.5. Because I sent out this play like 5 hours ago. And the fact that it went from -115 at 8 down to 7.5 and dropping, I think it's a very, very good look here. But again, math telling you, right? And at Rogers Center, nothing much to do with the field, right? It's not a big weather thing. -4%. Am I reading that correctly? Right. So we got slight wind coming in. Won't be much, but it's not wind blowing out, which is good. Wheeler deals. I think so. I almost took his fantasy score today. I think he dominates. Thing is, I'm a little bit afraid because I think Kikuchi also dominates. So that's why I was like, and the model does too, right? If you look at that, right, I think Wheeler's going to deal, but really it has Kikuchi the one dealing. Caps them at -145. I think that's outlandish. But again, maybe the Blue Jays do win. But I just stayed off the Blue Jays. I like the under much better. Pirates Mets. Not much, right? Bailey Falter, David Peterson thinks the line should be a pick'em. Thinks there's some value on Pittsburgh today. I agree. I do think there's value on Pittsburgh today. At the same time, they are so bad. Like the Mets are bad. The Pirates are so bad. Little bit of value on the over, not much. Just kind of a game I don't really want to get involved in. The under is the more comfortable play. Jay's lineup doesn't look great. Doesn't look great at all, Skitchen. At all. And we got some nice line movement on our side. For game picks, Steam has not been kind. Totals, much more kind lately. Again, things could change, right? We got Yankees, Braves. So, ladies and gentlemen, take this over. Severino is going to get destroyed. I just shouldn't speak on Yankee games. But like this projection, like 10.5, it's 10.5 for a reason. And Bryce Elder, he just hasn't been good, but I just have a weird feeling the Yankees just put up a goose egg against him. But the thing is, I don't know what I'm fucking talking about with the Yankees. Like every single play of the Yankees I give, they do the exact opposite. So model likes the over. That's all I'm going to say on this game. I mean, I think it's properly priced, but as you can tell, like when the model is primarily going to lean towards the under, and it still thinks it's 10.5 is priced correctly. So you're going to hear some pitches on that one, moving forward. And then we got Alex Faedo taking on Bailey Ober. Another game. I mean, the model's obsessed with Alex Faedo. It's been just obsessed with the Tigers. It's gotten me in a lot of trouble because there have been games where the Tigers are like plus 140 and they think it should be minus 150 and then they lose. So the model's at this point just showing value on the Tigers every day. It's not something I want to get involved with at all. Like I said, I already banned the Tigers anyway, so I'm not getting involved. Arms on the Twins through the first 5. I don't hate it at all. I like Bailey Ober a lot better than Alex Faedo. Like, there's parts that I like about Faedo moving forward, but he just needs to develop some offerings to get him some whiff. He's just not quite there yet. I think he'll be good one day, but he's just not quite there yet. A's Cardinals is interesting. It's Spencer Watkins. It was going to be Tarnick, but instead it's Watkins. I mean, these two pitchers are so bad. That's why I don't even mind a flyer on the A's money line, just because Dakota Hudson is not any good. But again, like that's my main point. It's like, right, in the Dodgers-Rockies series, does Lance Lynn deserve to be minus 310? No. Did the Dodgers win by 3? Yes. Does Dakota Hudson deserve a minus 220 line? No. Did the Cardinals probably win? Yeah. It's like one of those games. I see value on the A's. Model sees value on the A's. Doesn't mean we bet the A's, right? Just because the line shows value doesn't mean you bet it. But I'm not betting the Cardinals. No shot. I know, feels like an over to me too, right? Model showing value on the under. Again, you got to go with your gut here. I like the over. I think both these two pitchers are so bad. Remember Spencer Watkins? Remember he's a failed Orioles arm. Dakota Hudson's just not good. But again, the A's aren't very good either. But their bats have been okay. So maybe it is an over in that game. But again, not worth touching in my opinion. We got Angels Rangers. We got Giolito taking on Jordan Montgomery. Giolito's got a 3.5 run prop up. But Rangers scored fucking 12 yesterday, won 12-0. Like, this might be a classic spot where I'd look at the Angels on the money line. And I know Gino's going to come on and he's going to have a pitch on him. I can't do it. Angels look like dead. And the Rangers are so damn good. And Giolito is just not that guy. This just doesn't feel like a game that I want to get involved in. Honestly, I don't even mind if you square up and take the Rangers minus $1 trillion. Just feels like a game where the Rangers really take control here, right? Jordan Montgomery is a far better arm than Giolito is. Rangers have the better bullpen. They have the better offense. They're at home. They have every advantage. Tough game. And by tough, I mean you could take the square play with the Rangers. You will not see me on the Angels. But again, it's a spot where I could see the Angels weirdly winning, right? 12-0 yesterday. You want to fade that, but it's the Rangers. So I will not be doing that. Angels over 3.5 team total over. Don't hate it. Depending on the line, don't hate it. Maybe the Angels bats bounce back. Maybe it's just a game that flies over. I don't know. There is value on the over at 8.5. I do think this total should be 9. Surprised it's at 8.5. Which that's why it's kind of tricks me out, right? Why? It's a little bit lower than I might think. Rangers team total over. Yeah, I mean, they probably destroyed Giolito. Let's keep going. We got White Sox Cubs, another game I just couldn't care less about, right? We got Tukey versus Hendricks. Peter, any interest on Freeman smacking it? You guys got to remember, like, when you ask me, are really good players going to play really well today? I mean, probably, right? I took Soto yesterday and got crushed. So more often than not, I'm going to give you players that are not very good, but in good spots to finally do their job. And that's when more often than not I'm profitable. Taking Freddie Freeman, like, sure, he's probably going to hit, right? All right, we got Gino. Or who we got first? Supposed to be mid-major. Gino, we'll go to you right after mid-major. You're a little early, Gino. I see you shaking up and down. I love you, my friend. We'll see you in. But we got mid-major. Is he wearing a motherfucking crown? Hey. Mid-major, take a bow, my friend. You deserve it. You absolutely deserve it.
Hey, pal.
Good shit. We're both wearing
We're
colored
trying,
shirts
brother.
today.
What's up?
We're both wearing colored shirts today. Mine's a little bit more relaxed. Yours is average.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't shop at Gucci or wherever you guys girlfriends go to buy you shirts. I live in California, so I went to the sunglass hut, got a shirt.
So many Gucci stores in California.
Dude, the way I've been gambling, I can afford better than Gucci, so I don't need to go there anymore.
Yes, you can. Better than Gucci. And let's keep it rolling. Why not us? And you got more plays today. I'm excited to hear.
Absolutely. Why the fuck not? You know, I have this mentality of when I am making more money in gambling, I will up my unit size. And if this is a competition to win World Series tickets,
yes,
I am in the lead and I'm hot. So I'm just gonna let it keep riding. And if I can force these motherfuckers below me to pick up your games, I am going to. This is a competition. We have a month and a half of baseball left. It's time to turn up the heat, baby.
Turn it up, mid-major. Atlanta team total over 5.5. Why?
Why the fuck not? I mean, honestly, if Severino is going to beat me, he's going to have to fucking beat me. I will pay for him not to beat me. I'm going to pay against him. As a starter, he has the worst rated fastball in the major leagues. As a starter, he has the worst rated slider in the major leagues. The only 2 fucking pitches he throws. And the team that hits fastball is the best. The fucking Atlanta Braves. The team that hits the slider the top 3. The fucking Atlanta Braves. Again, Peter, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it makes too much sense for some people. I just have to keep riding it. The Braves again now have scored 8.2 runs per game after yesterday in the month of August. Why would they stop against Severino? The Yankees threw out Ian Hamilton for 2.5 innings yesterday, or 2.2 innings yesterday. He got rocked. They threw out Abreu for 3 innings yesterday. He got rocked. If he doesn't get rocked, Severino, if he can somehow make it to the 5th inning, who else could the Yankees throw in their bullpen that's not going to get rocked today, Peter? I just don't know.
I don't know either. The only thing I'm doing right now is not to it's 6.5 now.
Is it plus money?
No, I still see 5.5 at -140. Remember, guys, we're using BetMGM lines. 5.5 -140, same thing, Matt. It's still there.
Yeah.
Remember, use all the books, right? Get the best price. And on BetMGM right now, they have the best price, right? You can use code JustBaseball. Absolute no-brainer. It's right here. BetMGM, 5.5. I see it right in front of me. You can take it if you like it with mid-major Matt, who's taking it for 2 units and is the hottest bettor on planet Earth right now.
Yeah, I mean, again, I like the over in the game, but to get the over in the game, I think Atlanta has to at least score 6.
Yeah.
Because that means the Yankees have to score 4 or 5. And somehow, some fucking way, Peter, Bryce Elder against right-handed hitters is Clayton Kershaw from 2015. He's phenomenal. At least his expected stats are, I will say that. He's gotten rocked, of course, but against right-handed hitters, and he throws a sinker, he doesn't really throw a fastball, which is the only pitch the Yankees hit. So the Yankees have no quality lefties that can challenge him. I think they have probably a 2 in the lineup today. So if I think the game goes over, which I do, I think it's all from Atlanta. And I'm just going to keep backing them against the worst starting pitcher in the league right now.
You aren't afraid of Well, Wainwright's the worst starting pitcher in the league, but Severino
Yeah,
is
that's
making his case.
That's fair.
Severino's making his case.
Yeah.
You aren't afraid of Jake Bowers?
I mean, he does. Does he pitch?
Let's get your next play before you make me upset. Cincinnati.
This one, I debated between. Yeah, I debated between the Yankees Braves over and this over. I settled on this one, Peter. Do you know how many? I'm not gonna fucking ask you questions because you get pissed off and you get.
I don't get pissed off. I just don't know the answers to your questions, and then you just answer them for me. So I'm like, okay.
In his last 13 innings at home, Graham Ashcraft has allowed 2 earned runs, and that's Cincy, which is phenomenal, Peter. But he spams cutters. I think we all know that. That's what he does. It's does not get whiffs. He just gets weak contact, and he just spams cutters. The best pitch the Cleveland Guardians hit is the cutter, and they hit it pretty fucking well.
You know who hits cutters extremely well? Josh Naylor.
Is it Jose Ramirez?
No, Josh Naylor.
Is he in the lineup?
No, he's on the IL.
Oh, I'm still okay with it. Again, it's more so that's the baseball reasoning, also line reasoning. It opened at 9, went to 9.5, and it went to 9.5 with Graham Ashcraft pitching phenomenally. That catches my eye. Also lately, Logan Allen, he's been pitching pretty well too. He's not gone deep in the games, but he's not allowed many earned runs. And for this to open up at 9.5, and go to 9.5 in my eyes, it means something to me. Also, Logan Allen's biggest issues, I think we all know, is against right-handed hitters. Have you seen the Reds lineup today?
No.
I think it's every single person who's a right-handed hitter and Ellie, who's a switch hitter.
Love it.
Pretty sure. Logan Allen has.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I'll ask you a question after you're done.
His issue against right-handed hitters is he's not striking them out, so he's allowing a lot of fly balls. And if you're telling me this, did you see the weather for Cincinnati tonight? At Ballpark Pal? It's gorgeous for runs.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're telling me that Logan Allen's going to allow a lot of fly balls in a fly ball park against a team that is going to hit a lot of fly balls, it's going to go over, Peter. And I don't think Logan Allen pitches well at all, which is correlated with my Prize Picks play. Their bullpen is healthy and it's rested, but the Guardians bullpen, it's performed pretty poorly on the road since the All-Star break. They're bottom 10 in XFIP, bottom 10 in WOBA against most lineups. And I think they're being overvalued playing at Progressive Field. And against a Reds team, a young Reds team that just wants to keep hitting, I think we find some runs today.
You mean Great American?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're good.
No, I said Progressive when they perform better at Progressive.
No, I see what you're saying.
I apologize. Yeah.
No, my apologies.
Away from Progressive, they have not performed well. And I like that trend to continue after Logan Allen gets hit out early in the game because he has his walk issues and he's not going to go deep. And I like that bullpen to get touched up as well.
Do you know why I took Reds first 5 today?
I did debate between the Reds money line and this, but it's the righties against Logan Allen. It has to be, right? And
no,
I would imagine.
I think this has a chance going over because of the Reds, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, Graham Ashcraft is minus 200 to go over 17.5 pitching outs, and he's minus 140 to go under 2.5 earned runs. Logan Allen is minus 120 to go under 15.5 pitching outs, minus 130 to go over 2.5 earned runs.
And that all makes sense to me, which is why I want to fade Allen. The one reason which catches at least my eye, Peter, for the props is, again, the last 2 starts at home. Graham Ashcraft went 6 innings and 7 innings. Mm-hmm. So 18 outs and then 21 outs. Why are they opening the line at 17.5 and not 18.5?
It's minus 200 towards the over. And how often are you seeing 18.5 pitching outs for a guy with a 4.8 ERA? That's fair.
We saw Scherzer open at 19.5.
But it's minus 200, right?
Agreed.
So it's
Agreed. It looks... I debated between the Reds, but it looks a little too short for me, at least the opening odds, because, again, he opened around minus 105. So I think that he does pitch okay, but I do think he gets touched up somewhat. And I think the weather in the ballpark takes it over. But I do love the Reds bats today, for sure. I do think that they get the majority of the runs here.
More than fair. Good shit. And then we got this Prize Picks entry.
Yeah, so again, Logan Allen, I don't think that's I kind of touched on it a little bit. Young arm, he's getting tired. His control has not been there lately. He's walked 3, 4, and 3 batters, and the Reds have not been patient of late. But I think it's Logan Allen, a young arm who has had well control of the strike zone lately. I think they do become patient, and I think they're able to find runs off of him. It's interesting enough, his pitching outs are the lowest they've been all season, and it's juiced to the under, which I really like that. Again, like you said, his earned runs is juiced to the over when he's not allowed a lot of earned runs. And what's funny, Peter, is someone who looks at a lot of those props, for someone to open up at 2.5 earned runs over with a 15.5 pitching outs juiced under, that tells you he's going to pitch poorly early, right?
That's why I like Reds for 5.
Not many books offer that. Not many. They won't open up a lot of pitchers with that combination of squares where he's going to pitch less than 5 innings, essentially, and allow more than 2.5 earned runs. I like that equation there.
Me too. Love that equation. And then
Kukuch, the juice actually moves away from me here, so it does worry me a little bit, but I still think I love his whiff percentages he's had of late. I don't think he's getting respected this year. And the Phillies have whiffed a fuck ton against left-handed pitchers. And they've seen a lot of high velo guys of late, and Kikuchi is the exact opposite. So it may take them a couple innings to get used to it. And I think by that time, he goes over 6.5. That lineup is not that patient in the Phillies. They love to swing those big old bats, and they should because they have a lot of power in them. But I think Kikuchi is a perfect counterpoint to what they want to do. He's a very patient pitcher. He's not a thrower of a ball. He's a pitcher. He knows how to work his edges. And I think against a lineup that wants to swing the bat early and often, he can get those whiffs. And I think he goes over 6.5. Interestingly enough, I know there's not a lot of big name pitchers today on the slate, but he's the second or the third highest odd pitcher to be the K leader on the day, which I've never seen Kikuchi that high before. So I do like that there.
Would Matt play Braves team total over 6.5 at plus 105? Like, guys,
it's my friend Something Slight. What's up, brother? I hope you win in all your bets. I'm a huge fan of yours. Keep coming to the stream. I love you. What's that?
Some Slight. Remember, we got BetMGM, right? Minus 140. That's his play. Matt, I guess, would you?
Yeah, I mean, Something Slight. Again, for the stream, I'm playing 5.5 because I'm gonna win that. I'm gonna win that bet. I feel very comfortable saying that. If I was playing in the books long term, yeah, why the fuck would you not ladder it? Again, I think Severino's going to get demolished. And if he gets demolished, who the Yankees going to throw out there for 6 innings? It's 5 innings. Their bullpen has been the most abused bullpen, as we talked about, of the last 2 weeks. They have 2 starting pitchers. Their bullpen arms are dead. Anyone they throw out after them, they're just going to get rocked. And why would the Braves not just stop raking? They're having a historic season. Why would they stop? Because they throw out fucking Billy McKinney to throw. Well, they scored 8 off of David Mennick or the fuck on the Mets. Why would they stop now?
Appreciate you, my friend. All right, we just got to keep moving on. But
no, sorry guys.
Keep killing it.
Appreciate it, brother.
My friend, we'll talk to you soon.
See you tomorrow.
Is it time for Gino, producer Colin? Gino, what's up, beast? We're talking about mid-major Matt taking the lead, but it's not as if you're not almost up 10 units on. Oh wait, that was Javon. We're still in the third.
Oh, I thought I was going to have a better day yesterday than I did. I think I only won like 0.3 units on the show, even though I hit the parlay. I hit the Prize Picks parlay and still didn't do that well. I got hosed by who did I get hosed by? It wasn't Kansas City. I don't know.
It was Giants plus 1.5 and
Giants. Giants. What did I say? I never bet them either. And dude, they were on my car. I wanted to bet the Giants today. And for any of you guys out there, I will gift you the Giants off the record. It's a sharp play, but I'm not betting it. They don't win for me. You all have that one.
I bet it. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it comes through.
Play.
All right, Royals money line. We're back to it.
Guys.
And we got 10 plays, ladies and gentlemen. So we're just going to let Gino kind of roll through, talk his analysis. Yeah, go ahead.
Just so y'all know here, the Royals oh my God, do you watch that game? I was so mad.
I watched the whole time. I thought it was an electric game.
I was so mad I didn't even respond to your text because I was like, why is he poking me right now? I already counted this as a win. Long story short, when the public sees the worst team win a game that they don't think they should have won, they're seeing it all backward. The Royals gave up that lead, should have lost, blah, blah, blah. The money pouring in against them is stupid. This line should be plus 100, plus 110 max. The only reason I'm not bigger on this play, the only reason is that I watched them crumble up 6. The value on the Royals today is almost more than yesterday, but I watched them crumble and win miraculously. Once they went down, I turned it off. I didn't text you probably back for an hour later because I thought it lost. I was so pissed.
No, because I texted you too. Because remember we talked about yesterday? I was on the Royals first 5, and I'm like, Gino, the bullpen is so bad, and you took him full game money line, and then we were texting, and I was like, oh no, are you watching? Because I was just watching because my bet hit, but I like this game.
I mean, you called it perfectly.
And no, but I don't mean to say it
No,
I'm not talking about my bet. I'm just saying their bullpen is so otherworldly bad that it's just never safe. But they pulled it out.
I don't get it. If I'm them at this point, just grab one of your, even though you don't have a depth starting pitcher, give one of them a chance. Do something, because I couldn't believe it. It was like you saw the future. But yeah, I'm trying to give you guys, because I know you don't follow all our units. This is actually a more valuable play, but they disgusted me yesterday. So I was like, I can't stomach that again.
I almost put 0.5 units on them too, just because they've earned it. But I see what you're going with this one. Next play, Angels. Oh, Gino's play's disgusting.
Dude, these are going to be some ugly plays, but this is actually one of my more favorite ones. I want to pull up something. I want to make sure I can get to it quick. If not, I'm not going to waste everyone's time. The Angels starting pitcher has been. God, where is this damn thing? He
stinks, Gino.
Calm down. It was. I look really closely, guys. I look for value. Something about his recent road record and his matchup against majority righties or something. That's where the value came from, guys. Is this pitcher in a very microscopic system, and the system is who he's up against. And I couldn't even find it. I know. No one likes Giolito. I think I gave him out as a loss a month ago.
You love Giolito.
I do just because it's value. He is not good, but I still have hope for these Angels making the playoffs. And these games mean, and again, I don't mean all to hang on emotion. These wins mean more to the Angels right now than Texas. And I think Giolito can buckle down. I don't love the play. You're looking at a half unit. That's all. So I don't want to overhype it up. It's a half a unit.
You just want a little sprinkle. You're I kind of like the play, and it's worth a little half.
This one's just a half a unit. Even though the other one's a half a unit too, there was more emotion tied in. Yeah. This one's just a half a unit of value. Cincinnati,
first 5 money aligned.
So, yeah, I couldn't figure this one out. Maybe what is it? Why was this one so cheap? They're home? Is it Ashcroft? Is Ashcroft?
Well, Allen has a 3.55 ERA and Ashcroft has a 4.89.
Okay, so it's Ashcroft. Yeah. Well, I'm just one of those people where you give me a good team. This is a good team. They're not in the playoffs yet, but they're looking damn good.
They're a good team. I agree.
They're a good team. They're home, and this is cheap. I fade pitchers. I know a lot of people blindly just bet the better pitcher. I'm a guy. I think I was listening to you before you put on mid-major. I don't bet the favorite guys to go over on their hits. I don't find a lot of value there. I find a lot of value in the dogs and the disgusting plays, and I find a lot of value in good teams home with a crappy pitcher, and that's what I see here.
I agree, and I don't think Ashcraft's crappy. I think he's
sorry. Statistically,
statistically, you look at the game and you see 3.55. You see a Guardians team that you like.
Yeah,
I think people think the Guardians are at least at the same, and they think, it's. I just love this play, and if it's funny.
It's not fair to pitchers to pitch. Dude, when you have stats in half your games are in your home, and your home is Cincinnati, I'm telling you, the guys. I agree. This is the art versus the science. I put an asterisk next to a lot of these starts and a lot of their stats when half their games are at home. I do the opposite for my Giants. I'm like, dude, our pitchers look better than they are because our park's very generous to pitchers.
It's a great point. Let's just keep going because we got so many plays. Yankees. What are we doing here?
This is my play of the day.
You're insane. We suck.
Brother.
Okay.
The sharpest play on my card, backed by my systems and by syndicates, is Yankees money line.
Okay.
Yep. And
I don't know how, but okay.
And the only reason I added in the the plus 1.5, plus 1.5 runs, is the Atlanta minus 1.5 is the squarest play of the day. They are putting up boatloads of runs. There is no reason this shouldn't be Yankees plus 240. There is no reason the Yankees plus 1.5 shouldn't be plus 150. And if you look at the distribution on this game, they are sitting. They are locking this in. This has moved like 0.5, 5 to 10 points on the day, and it is getting hammered by the public. The Yankees are going to win this game. The Yankees are going to have like a nice breakout game. I'm going to look really smart. The Yankees are going to be up early. I almost like the money line first 5, but I was like, I'm already on this. And I did a half unit each way just to cover myself. I can see a really disgusting Atlanta by 1.
Okay. All right. I can get behind it, I hope. All right. Let's keep moving.
Pitt Met first 5 under 4.5. I got hosed on this game yesterday, guys. I was under 6. It was under 6, and I wasn't under the game. I think they scored 7 in the first and barely scored another run or 2 the rest of the game. This is almost like a recency bias. These Mets just aren't good at scoring runs, and it dropped a run and a half. Obviously, totally different pitchers, but the public came out early on the over, locked it in. The sharps came out under. You're actually getting the same line I got 7 hours ago. Don't love that I don't have closing line value on it, but you're sharps for squares and the under sharp.
Interesting. Okay, let's keep going.
Let's do it.
Oh, and then you just have the full game under.
Yeah, now we're getting prettier.
Yeah.
This is one of the better value plays of the day. Pretty much the same line I got. Syndicates backed this up with my systems. I love unders right after what I would say is, you have a better pitcher coming in after 2 inferior pitchers. A lot of people remember the offense, not the defense kind of thing. This is one of my favorite plays of the day.
It's moved to minus 110 now.
It's minus 110. It's not that bad. Again, I'm frugal, guys. I'll obviously be happy at my plus 100, but if I was you, I'd cut the bet in half.
Cut the bet in half. Fair enough, because you like the plus price.
10% of value is a lot of value to lose.
Fair. All right, let's keep it going. Detroit first 5.
So pretty much everything I have is pointing to the. And I think I even sent it to you. I was gonna try and make a prize picks total on the Padres kicker. Or excuse me, the kicker. The Padres
Your football's in the mind.
Pitchers. Yeah, I actually was doing all my pregame rankings, power rankings, but pretty much every sign points to the under for the pitcher. The under in performance. So like over in walks, under in Ks, over in earned runs. So whenever I see that, just so you guys know, I go to the first 5 just because I'm mainly looking at this. I had Detroit as a slight edge. Then I had all the fading on the pitcher. And so that's what bumped it up to 1 unit. And that's a first 5. Obviously the pitcher can go 6 or 7, but they most likely don't go 8 or 9. So that's where this came from. I'm hearing a lot of hate on Detroit. I don't really get it. I don't really understand.
They stink against righties.
Baseball's tough, brother. This is the hardest sport
ever.
When you say stink, I just it's not like a guy just dropping 10, passes as a wide receiver. I don't know. There's a little soft spot in my heart for them. Where everyone's so high on Baltimore, which is cool. They're playing great ball. I like finding the guys and the dogs in the rough, and I think they've got too many people hating on them.
Fair enough. White Sox, another team that people hate.
Who are my White Sox? Are they up against the Cubs?
Yeah.
Just a pure. I looked up historicals on the. Do they have a name for that game when they play each other? Is it like the?
I should know that.
Mid-city.
Chicago people, help us out.
What's the name of the? We're the Battle of the
May. Windy City Showdown or something like that. It's something. There is something here. It's not the Lone Star Series, Rangers Astros, but it's close.
Yeah. So long story short, if you look at the lines and odds on this game, and you look at the pitcher, he just came from Atlanta, right? The White Sox guy.
Crosstown Classic.
Crosstown Classic. All right, thank you guys.
I don't know if that's true, but it sounds right.
It. Yeah. Mary Jane, you get the W. First answer sometimes the only answer.
Yeah.
Is it pronounced Toussaint?
Toussaint.
Toussaint. Yeah. Did he come from Atlanta?
Yes.
And I was very surprised just to see this line where it was. Now, when you leave a good team for a not good team. You're not that moralized. And then I looked at the Crosstown, we'll call it that, the Crosstown Classic, the Subway Series, whatever. I was very surprised that I was getting +1.5 this low, as how many of the games have finished within one run. So I like the White Sox in this game to win, flat out. But I'm so risk averse. I'm so soft that getting the +1.5. I forget the number. I want to say it's like 26% of the games and within one. It was the perfect security blanket at this price. Crosstown rivalry.
This is your biggest bet of the day.
This is the biggest bet of the day. So here we go, everyone. Severino's going to shove. That's number one. I have pretty much I don't give these out because they're not impressive. Pretty much under on every one of the Atlanta top players, like the Olsons and stuff, the main guys. The odds are just, so let me give you guys it all. If y'all want to do everything I'm doing here on Prize Picks, you go under with the players on Atlanta. You go Severino with the over. These are all actually official plays on how we got to 1.5. The syndicates had this as the play of the day, second only to the standalone that was it the Yankees. The Yankees in terms of dollar amount.
How are the syndicates buying Severino when he looks like the worst pitcher on planet Earth? I know why. Because I think that he's the worst pitcher on planet Earth.
And I'm pretty sure you're going to get a little hometown crowd in there. I know that doesn't mean a whole lot for these Yankees, but they get that a lot of places. But I'm telling you, seeing that Atlanta's been freaking beating the leather off the ball, it's like the perfect storm, guys. Honestly, it's the perfect storm where if I knew nothing about anything related to gambling, I would have Atlanta -1.5 in every one of my parlays. Why wouldn't you? Severino has been terrible. Atlanta is rolling. Yankees don't seem to give a shit anymore.
You hear the syndicates are on Purdy over interceptions?
Oh, don't say that.
Don't say that.
I don't even know who my starter is anymore. I don't know what's going on there. They hurt.
Well, why would Purdy be the starter? He's a top 10 quarterback.
I mean, I'm saying how he's been playing. We're a mess.
Gino, I appreciate you, my man.
That. Shout out to you. That is an amazing comment. I'm not even going to reply because I will talk for 20 minutes. Guys, if you're looking for a really valuable future.
49ers to win the Super Bowl.
No, I actually wouldn't go that far. I would say to win the division.
Rams are winning. Rams are going to win the division.
You don't mean that. And you know where we can bet it.
All right. We'll talk soon. I appreciate you, my friend. We'll move on to DeGen. We'll talk football soon. Don't worry.
Later, brother.
Later, my friend. DeGen.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm doing great. I was having fun hanging out in the third deck of the Titanic with the fucking chat.
I like how you and I are starting to get into the football. Like we're going back and forth, starting to get every morning. Just like, what are you looking at for the NFL features?
I see. I like seeing Pete hit me up every day. What did I do? What did I do to earn your respect all of a sudden?
I love your content. I think your stream is fantastic. Every day at 11 a.m. Eastern, DeGen Weekly. Love the stream. I think you know what you're talking about.
Thank you.
What else is there? And you're my friend.
What's not to love? I know, which we've never met in person, which is kind of weird because you live like fucking half a mile from me.
We'll get some beers.
Yeah. So it's funny. I really wanted to hear. I'm such a Niners slurper. Really, I'm not a Niners slurper. I'm a Kyle Shanahan slurper. And that year in the draft when they traded up, I didn't know what they were going to do, but I did not think they were going to draft Trey Lance. So I'm a huge NFL draft bettor. And this was back before it was legal in New York. So I live in Brooklyn, so I'd have to drive to Jersey to go to the FanDuel Sportsbook at the Meadowlands. And I was going there daily making bets. And I actually thought, so I bet on Justin Fields to go third overall, Justin Fields under draft position. And then I took a flyer on Kyle Pitts. I thought it might be interesting if they added to that offense a George Kittle and Kyle Pitts and just said, fuck it, we can get by with whatever running backs we have and semi-mid receivers. I forget who they had at the time. And I think Trey Lance was such a weird I don't think they knew what they were doing until they made that draft pick.
I think it was an upside pick. I think they were like, Trey Lance could be the best quarterback in this draft by far, or he flames out like we're the 49ers.
I think
Because, right, they were really good that year, and then didn't they just have that pick that was traded to them?
Well,
or like it was some trade. Like I don't think they were bad that year, and that's how they got Trey Lance, if I remember correctly.
No. But they were riddled with injuries. That like Shanahan's record when Jimmy Garoppolo's injured is terrible. And I think they're in win now mode, and his offense is set up for a quarterback that can run. And I think they were just so desperate to get a guy that could run, and they wanted Trey Lance. I don't know. Anyways, I guess I'm rambling because I only have one play, so we kind of have the time, and I like talking football. I got the itch. Yeah, you want me to get into my play?
Let's go. Let's see it, because 2 units is not often seen from the Degen Weekly.
Yeah, well, I don't have a fucking choice. Mid-major Matt is making it difficult. I can't sit here and just fucking putter around +1 units, 1.02 units. What is this crap? I don't care about being green. So I need to get up there. I'm tired of being 7th. I swear I was at like 1 or 2 for 30 seconds, and then I don't know what happened. So I got to get back.
Major Matt just put us in his back pocket and said, now it's my show now.
This fucking guy, he's out of his mind right now. And you know what's funny is I wanted to take that under in the Braves game because I've been looking at the board, and I like to take the grossest under I can. I did this with hockey too. This is by far the grossest under on the board. All I've seen on Twitter is how Luis Severino is going to allow 35 runs in the first inning, blah, 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 blah. So I'm conflicted because
it's crazy because, like, I think he's gonna. And, like, I guess the under is the sharpest play of the day, and the Yankees are going to win according to the syndicates. And I'm like, we are the worst team in baseball, and we have Severino on the mound.
It's not sharp. There's nothing sharp about that under. It's just stupid and contrarian. It's just one of those expect the unexpected. So, yeah, I'm conflicted. It was going to be on my stream. It was going to be my POD. And then mid-major Matt liked Severino to get hit. I was like, all right, I trust him. And then I just heard Gino. Now I'm all fired up. I'm conflicted. But you know why I like this over? It has absolutely nothing to do with analytics, nothing to do with XFIP, WOBA, BABIP.
Look at you. Look at you. Look at those stats.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've listened to your stream and been on your stream long enough now. I still don't know what any of it means, but I know how to pronounce it. So anyways, yesterday, I've told myself I'm trying to get better at discipline, and I've told myself I'm not going to fade good teams, and I'm not going to bet on bad teams. I fucked up, and I did that. I bet on the Blue Jays. I think when you were on the Cubs' first 5, I had a weird feeling they were at least going to win. I forget who was pitching that game. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But I thought yesterday the Diamondbacks, after what are they like 724 run? Like, they're terrible. They were nice. They were cute in the first half of the season. They've been absolute dog shit since. But I told myself I always feel like Coors is a good get right spot for teams, you know, kind of figure it out, a little assistance on the
garbage Rockies pitchers, yeah.
So I told myself yesterday, I like the Diamondbacks, I like their team total, and I like the over in the game. But I didn't bet any of it. But I saw them get out to that 4-0 lead. I think they scored in the first, they scored in the second, and I was having that FOMO, and I was like, God damn it. Why don't you just fucking listen to yourself?
Same FOMO on the Marlins yesterday. I love fading Framber on the road, and I didn't take it because I was like, it's been too good. Now it's not going to work. And I was like,
I agree.
I almost hate that more than like taking a bet and losing, is when you had a pick, you didn't take it, and it fucking lost. Same thing. I like the Coors under yesterday. Didn't take it. I could have had a great day.
So, you did like the Coors under. Okay, yeah. So I liked runs. I saw it was 11.5, but I guess it wasn't like it was suspicious. It wasn't a crazy high number.
Remember, I've said this before. Remember when 2 teams are coming back to Coors, when the Rockies haven't been home, both teams coming back, the under is really, really profitable. The one reason I didn't take it, Merrill Kelly coming off an injury and Chris Flexen is a literal garbage can. Yeah. And I was like, oh, God, this might be the one where it doesn't hit. Ended up hitting anyway.
So, yeah, I think so that's really, honestly, I mean, when I look at my Action Network's kind of cool now. You can, like, filter your bets by type for, like, all of them that you've tracked. And the most profitable bet that I have are totals in baseball. I think, like, dating back to last season, I think I'm up, like, 20-something units, and that is by no means a brag.
No,
but what it does –
No, that means you know how to bet totals. That's all.
Well, that shows what you're strong at, and it shows what you're not strong at. So you should lean into – what works. So what works for me are totals and this stupid fucking system I have of being a day early. Now, I thankfully wasn't there financially yesterday, but spiritually I was. So I'm going back to it. I love the fucking Diamondbacks. I love their team total. I love their bats. Corbin Carroll, I'm on him 2 units minus 185 over 1.5 bases because he sold everybody yesterday. He sold Trent. He burned everybody. He's got the hit runs, RBI square up there. I'm going back to him. And I think the Diamondbacks, I mean, the Rockies probably score too. But I like the total 12.5 minus 115. I hope I don't see any buyback on it before it starts. But this is my one and only 2-unit play.
Beautiful. I mean, I'm just right now looking. So 12.5, same price, minus 150.
It hasn't moved?
Yeah. So no buyback or anything.
Okay.
And another thing too, gorgeous weather at Coors Field today. Gorgeous.
Good.
Like,
I've been to
Ballpark Pal is like screaming that there's going to be runs.
How many ballparks have you been to?
A lot. I haven't been to Minnesota. Haven't been to the Trop.
No, you're missing a great time.
Yeah, I know. I don't care to go there. I haven't been to Citizens Bank yet, which is insane to me. I still haven't been there.
Is that Philly?
Philly.
I haven't been there either.
Just
give me a fucking number, Pete. I said how many?
No, I don't know. Probably like 20.
There you go. Jeez,
yeah,
that's
probably
a lot.
20.
All right. Well,
yeah.
I've only been to like 5 or 6, but I've done Wrigley. I've done Fenway. I've been to Coors once. It was probably one of the nicest baseball live experiences. I love how the stadium is right downtown. I walked from my hotel. It was like 5 minutes, and it was just crystal clear, beautiful. I forget it was in town. But so when you say that, I'm being serious. I'm not like a huge weather guy. I think I saw the Cubs play them there, and it was like a 9-8 game. The weather was perfect. So this is what I expect. I think I'm playing an alt line on the total too, over like 15.5 runs. I think there's going to be just an insane amount of scoring. Now, obviously, if anybody's listening, don't fucking take that as a lock. Bet it and come bitch at me if it's 5-1. But I like it.
Hell yeah, too. Because it's like when you're coming out, it's like a 2-unit play. Like what are you playing this actually, right? Because people are competing in the competition. For me, just so everybody knows, what I play in the competition is what I play normally. It's always standard. But I'm just curious, what are you actually playing this at 12.5? Is it 2 units for you?
Yeah. I'm $100.
Oh, it is 2 units.
200. Yeah, 200. So I'm playing Carroll bases, and then I take that back. I didn't play an alt total. I took an alt D-backs team total over 8.5, like plus 160 in a parlay.
Fantastic. DeGen, I wish I could talk football with you right now, but we will be doing it over text, and we will be doing it soon on this show. Remember, NFL and MLB, it's about to collide, but we got Ben Carey. It is his birthday, so I want to give him this.
Okay, before I leave, I'm going to Cincinnati this weekend to see the Jays. If you have any recommendations for Cincinnati, let me know.
I will. Absolutely,
okay.
My friend.
We'll
talk to you soon, all right?
Take care. Good luck.
Mr. Ben Carey, welcome back and happy birthday, my friend. How we doing? How's the kid? How's life? What's going on?
Life's good, man. Yeah,
good.
I'm blessed, man. Got the kiddo. Yeah, it's my birthday, so yeah, man, I'm happy. And of course, if I'm giving out a play on my birthday, it's got to smack, right?
Has to smack. You and DeGen are aligned.
We are.
Bunch of units on the over. Why not?
Yeah. So I want to be transparent. I'm only playing this for a unit, like personally.
Yeah.
But look,
we got to catch up.
Mid-major Matt, dude. Like
what a story.
I leave the stream for like a month, and I'm following still the stream and everything. I'll tune in and when I can. And I'm like, dude, he was down 10 units, and now he's almost
down 13 units, and now he's up
10
in like a month.
Dude, crazy, man. Like, talk about like a hot streak, man. So yeah, I gotta keep pace somehow. The biggest thing for me with this play, like the bullpen games can be sketchy one way or another. Like the Rockies have actually pitched pretty well in bullpen spots at home, which is surprising, at least the ones I've seen. But one thing that I saw yesterday, like you could see this on TV, but I was up close and personal at the game, is there were a lot of hard hit balls yesterday, and some of them went for runs, some of them were just stuck in the infield, and some just were line outs to the outfielders. But the the D-backs were seeing the ball well. They just didn't have as much to show for. And the Rockies, I think, could have actually had a few more runs too. So I'm just kind of basing off of like what I saw yesterday, and then with like the pitching, which isn't going to be great today. It's good atmosphere. I just think we're going to see a lot of runs, and I think we'll get a classic Coors day today.
I gotta say, I'm so glad to see you, but the Ben Carey videos, I mean, they're the best thing to ever happen to this stream of all time, dude. They're fucking phenomenal.
I don't even know where sometimes I come up with these, but like they just come in my head, and I'm like, I think people would find this funny. So like the Angels and the
We love them.
That was
geeking,
man.
I think that one was amazing. I think that's producer Cohen's favorite. I think, and he's like nodding his head, being like, yes. I think my favorite, the Lion King one, was so funny. That is still like I was like I was crying, laughing, sitting here, and then the camera points back to me, and I'm like,
I know, I remember that, and the last few that I haven't been able to watch when it went live, but going back is pretty funny to watch. And in some of the chat, like who has no clue what's going on, maybe they're like just tuning in. They're like, "What is going on?" That's my favorite part. Like, what did I just walk into, man? And then some of them were like, "Yeah, that's a follow." I have no clue, but that was crazy.
Imagine like you're just on Twitch and you see a bunch of chatters like, oh, they're talking baseball, then just that pops up and you're just like,
they're like, hey, you guys follow Just Baseball? They're like, yeah, man, the Lion King was crazy. That's like their first impression.
Good stuff,
God.
my man.
I'll have another one before. I mean, we still got a few months.
And remember, like, I know it's hard for you to come on, of course, like, you just had a kid, but like, we got to get you to 100 picks, my friend. So if you
I'm there.
Oh, you're there.
Oh yeah.
You're already.
I'm there. Wait, who is up there? Who isn't at 100? Ollie's got to get going too a little bit, right? Javon.
Ollie's not there yet. Is Javon there yet, producer? Him and Ollie are one play apart, but they'll get it right. There's 45 games left in the regular season. Anthony's not close. Nick's not close. Where's Nick?
I don't know. He had a good day the other day, right?
I don't know.
Well, no, I'm saying when he was on.
I don't know. Like it was a while ago, probably.
That'd be funny if Nick went on a fucking heater and ended up.
Would be sick. It's just we need him on.
All right. Well, I'll tell him.
Hell yeah. Ben, have a great birthday.
Thanks, man.
Enjoy the time with your child.
I will.
Appreciate you for coming on. And
you got it.
Whenever you can't come on and we get a video from you, it makes the stream better, makes our day better. So have a great birthday. All right. Yeah, turning 25, right? You look not a day over 25.
Yeah. Fun fact: I'm younger than Trent. No, that's not true. That's a running inside joke, and he hates when I bring that up for some reason.
I'll talk to you soon, my friend. Enjoy the birthday. All right, ladies and gents, it is about 100 degrees in the studio. Producer Cohen and I are literally melting. It is so hot today in New York City, and I don't know if it's so hot outside. I know it's hot, but it's incredibly hot in here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, right? Fun stream, lot of picks. Nick was 3-0 plus, and where is he, right? Who goes up 3, who sweeps the board, goes up 3 units, and then doesn't return? No, Ben's not 25. I was just being nice. Love you guys. Again, talk to you tomorrow. Same time, same place. You all know where to be. MLB season heating up. We got NFL soon. People forget. I was up 26 units in the NFL last year. People forget. Now I was up 44 units in the MLB last year. Now I'm down this year. So we'll see what happens, but I do know ball. We'll talk to you guys soon, all right? We just have to remember one thing. It's not gambling advice. Peace out, everybody.